Hello everyone, Thomas Fan E3 here, and I'm here for another tier list. This is something I wanted to do for a long time. After doing the ranking all the seasons 8 to 12 episodes and doing the ranking the Railway series books, there's another tier list I want to do. Is ranked all the Thomas movies slash specials. Now this year I watch all of them and got to be honest that there are a lot of them. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, and some of them are like I have fond memories of them, and some were like just the holes of place in my heart because around the time I was watching the series itself. Watching these movies is a treat, a treat after watching a few episodes from the series. So let's start with the rankings, the tier list, or where I put them. Four, here we go. 14 movies as specials. First up is Thomas and the Magic Railroad. Now, this was the very last Thomas movie that I watched in its entirety. No joke, I only found it out in 2019. I only watched it once in 2009 and 2008 2009, and this was I haven't watched this ever since until 2019 and 2020. That's where I first known about this movie, and this is very interesting because this movie changed Thomas forever when I watched reviews of it. So where I'm gonna put it? Well, I'm gonna put it in the originally I want to put in good, but I felt like it's still a very one of the best Thomas movies. I know it's that the history behind the movies that like it's a lot of the stuff it's not feel like it's like Thomas is not the main character in it, and then we have all these human characters in it, but it still had the classic charm of how classic charm of it, and it's still I when I watch it recently, and my views on this movie is like it's very magical and it's very beautiful, and it's like something is never done for Thomas before in a long time. But there's another movie that will do something like do like having an orchestra music in it. So I'm gonna put the Magic Thomas and the Magic Railroad in the best here. Well, if people are not hate this movie but like want to only put in good here, this is putting this movie in the best here is actually my own opinion. What I'm saying, this is I'm quite late for Thomas the Magic Railroad. And speaking of it, this year will be 25 years of the movie. Well, this will be interesting. And then here's a special that come out that was approaching 20 years old now. Calling All Engines. This was the first movie I watched, and I put it in average here because I like the steamy versus diesel conflict in it, but I gotta be honest, it's boring and nothing really exciting in it. And the learning segments in it kind of actually pulls it down in it. And nothing really much to say about Calling All Engines, but still it's alright. It's still an average movie. The Great Discovery. This one goes in the best here because that is a good way to send off the full model era of Thomas. And this movie really caught my eye when I watched it for the first time, and then only finding out years later that it was narrated by Pierce Brosnan. This is really interesting because I watched a bit of James Bond, Pierce Brosnan, and I never knew that he actually narrated Thomas. It was a different experience hearing his voice when I rewatch it again. It's fantastic, and this movie is like a good way to send off Model Thomas, and what a good way to have a special guest star in it. Hero of the Rails. I watched this one alongside The Great Discovery, and this one goes in the best here. It's a good way to start off the the CGI era of Thomas and Friends, and it's a it caught my eye when I also watched it on TV when it first came out around the same on in the same year it was released. A good uh the movie is fantastic, and having Spencer as the main villain in this one compared to a Diesel villain is it's very different, and I like that. See, like feel like Spencer's attitude really kind of actually fits into in this movie. A good way to start off the CGI era. And then we become Misty Island Rescue. Okay, I know people will go mental when it comes to this movie. Yeah, I understand this is the worst movie, but I gotta be honest, I don't you think it would be worse? Well, no, it's my opinion. I'm putting it in bad here. Okay, it's okay. I had to be honest that this movie, despite how bad the movie is, it's still they have some good ones in this movie. The particularly the music, I like it how it's like it sound like Pirates of the Caribbean, and it's but like Pirates of the Caribbean but with trains. It's a something that, well, that's the only thing that actually I like about this movie, compared to all of it. I don't think it really goes in the worst here, but I would put it in back here because it's still good, but the story is awful. Day of the Diesels. Oh yeah, one more. Oh, before I would say about Day of the Diesels, I realized it is 15 years of Misty Island Rescue. I can't. Well, I haven't watched really much reviews of people's reaction watching Misty Island Rescue. I hoping it would happen, because it would be quite interesting. Because let's see how bad it is. Day of the Diesels. Now, this is the movie I actually watched in cinemas when it first came out, and it was fascinating to watch this movie. And between Misty Island Rescue and Day of the Diesels is good. But but then when I rewatch it again, I realize how kind of, well, how bad this movie is. It's doesn't really. I feel like um, it's like the story of this thing is it's really crazy and silly in this one, but it's still okay. Between Misty Island Rescue and Day of the Diesels, I would say it's not the worst one, because there are some goods in it. There's some there are some goods in it. The only thing the is the music is kind of actually saves this one, I would say. And Blue Mountain Mystery. Blue Mountain Mystery definitely goes in the best here. Is a way to end off nitrogen era of Thomas and Friends. This movie is fascinating to know like the history behind it, and like finding out that Andrew Brenner was involved in this one. It actually now we no longer have all these like the Sharon Miller writing in this one, and we have Andrew Brenner mixed in this one. It's a good combination. Good combination that like Andrew Brenner is stepped in to save Thomas before everything goes bad. It's love the mystery story in this, and what a way to go off with ending of nitrogen era and the end of the awful era of season 8 to 16 from what I know. King of the Railway. I put it in good here, because I like the movies about like involving the kings and queens and the knights in shining armor, and then we have new characters in this. It's the only thing it's kind of actually like I don't really get it with this one is that like the story just like changing from one to another, and it's somewhat they all connected. It's kind of confusing if you watch the whole thing, but it's good, but it's mostly a 70% good, then 30% average. It comes down to the line that I love castles, kings and queens, and knights in shining armor, and the new character Stephen. Tale of the Brave. This is really where you had to overcome your fears and become a hero at the end. And this is actually the first to have Thomas, Percy, and James as a duo in this one. Their personalities bouncing off each other, and then when finally their differences, they had to put their differences aside in the latter half of the movie. And then like seeing Percy of a new character Gator helping Percy to overcome his fears. That's a heartwarming message, just not just to hit Percy but also to me, because there were like times, yeah, I'm like Gator, I'm afraid of heights. But then like seeing the you need to have to overcome the overcoming the fear of heights in order to achieve something in the end, then actually it did help me. Slowly I began to overcome my fear of heights, and I actually enjoyed it now. Well, that's a good. It's actually a good message, not just in the movie itself, but also to personally to me. The adventure begins. The adventure begins goes in definitely in the best here. It comes as a surprise to when I heard about the adventure begins. It's like a retelling of the first two Railway series stories, and I got nothing else to say. It's a very good, a very good like adaptation, a CGI adaptation of the first seven episodes of the first season of Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends. Now here it is, Zelda's Legend of the Lost Treasure, where it's the big thing of of everything that happened to Thomas. This is where it came out as surprising that Thomas caused this accident, tried to put the blame on others, and then the Fat Controller shouts at him. That is actually it's come off as a surprise. I even see like fans that like didn't like the Fat Controller shouting at Thomas and scolding him. But actually, watching it again, I actually realized that the Thomas wasn't the wrong the whole time, and then like the Fat Controller have enough of his ways, and then telling him to admit your mistakes or else. And after this one, Thomas actually admits his responsibilities, and now he no longer making excuses and owning up to his mistakes. That's a good message here. And I love the new characters. Ryan, Skiff, and Sailor John are fantastic, and that goes along with Thomas's arc in this, and really interesting that having a lot of returning characters and new characters that are from the Railway series. This is a very and what a good way to end off with this one. That it has good music, orchestra music. That was a big one since Thomas and the Magic Railroad, I believe. Yeah, Thomas and the Magic Railroad. Both of these movies are they have good orchestra music, and perhaps the best of it out of all the movies in my opinion. Now the Great Race. Okay, this one, if I'm gonna put it in good or average, um, I would say I would put in. Oh, this will be very hard because I have like I'm 50-50 on this movie, on it. Well, if I'm gonna have to put it, I would say I would put it in average here, because the movie is good, but it's just like, what kind of movie is this? When I first watching it, like this movie is actually we have like the Great Railway Show, and then we instead of focusing on the Great Railway Show, we focus everything on Thomas. It's like, oh, this is not. Oh, where is the fun of it? Now they've taken away the fun. And I love the new character Ashima in this. It's just interesting. They have an Indian, uh, Indian also known as Bollywood actress in this in the Thomas the voice cast. It's fascinating and something new. especially because since this is an international, sort of like an international movie, this is must have like international cast in it. This is uh, a good. I would say it's a 50-50 of it, but they could have done more. I'm just saying. Journey Beyond Sodor, I put it in good because I love the only thing I like about this movie is the songs. Because like, oh well, I think the hottest place in town, the most important thing is being friends, and then someone has to be the favorite. That's the only thing I like it more in the good here. Well, speaking of the Great Race, it has some. I love all the music, all the songs in this one, but not. But like, it's the only thing that kind of drags down is the story itself. It's like we're taking all of the Great Race stuff and focus on Thomas, while in Journey Beyond Soda, it just keeps on going, and like the music and the storyline keeps going. It actually does work. It does work well in it. So like Journey Beyond Sodor is like the best way to end off everything the original Thomas is. And then here we come to big world, big adventures. Okay, I don't know what to say. When I first saw it for the first time, it just completely horrible. I didn't like this movie at all. Definitely, yeah, I'm putting it in the worst here. You may like when I watch this compared to Misty and Rescue Day of the Diesels, Misty and Rescue Day of the Diesels, at least they are. I can understood. I actually can stand the nonsensical stuff. It's still good because I love the music. Misty and Misty and Rescue maybe is actually, I'm gonna be honest. I'd rather watch Misty and Rescue than Big World Big Adventures. That's just my saying. Big World Big Adventures is just nothing else to say. It's one, but I would describe a few things. It's horrible and just like huh, and um, this is so awkward and it doesn't really work well in it. But the only thing I like in this one, the only thing I like is the song "Where in the World is Thomas." That is fascinating, and that's the only thing I like about this whole movie. And that's it. We got we done the tier list of all the Thomas movies and specials. Yeah, and then well, interesting, seven, and we got like half of the movies and specials are great, are the best, and then we have two in the good, two in average, two in bad, and one worse. So like, what do you think? So I've always wondered, of all the 40 movies, which one is my favorite? Oh, this would be interesting. I think my favorite had to be okay for anything model era Thomas. The Great Discovery. It's a good way to end off the everything model Thomas. For CGI Thomas, I would say Tale of the Brave is first. Second place is Hero of the Rails. Third place, uh, Blue Mountain Mystery. Fourth place, the Soda's Legend of the Lost Treasure. In fifth place, The Adventure Begins. What? And yeah, Tale of the Brave is my favorite of all the CGI ones because like of its whole story. I like Soda's Legend of the Lost Treasure, but Tale of the Brave somehow actually makes it like make it actually stole my favorite spot of the CGI era. And that's it. We're done with the tier list. I may want to do more, but for now, this is my so far my last one for now. I may do more, but if I have nothing else to say, nothing to do a tier list on, this will be maybe my last. Thank you all for watching this video, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.